Hi everyone, and welcome to Pro Photo Life. Today we're at the house of my friend and fellow photographer Tom Yeoman. Tom is a sports photographer, a nature photographer, and today he's specifically going to be talking about bird photography and showing us some cool little tips, things I never would have imagined. So let's get right into the video.
Hi, my name is Tom Yeoman. I'm a local freelance photographer in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I make a living doing everything from sports to wildlife photography. You know, you can walk out your door and you can see 20 species of birds just within an area like this very quickly. And even though a lot of people aren't bird watchers, they still like to look at birds, and they see a pretty bird outside and they want to know what the name of it is. With nature photography, one of the biggest challenges is of course that animals see us as predators. So they don't let you, generally, they don't let you just walk up and start shooting pictures of them. Now everybody might think that the way to shoot birds is to walk along the trails and try to get close enough to shoot them as you walk along. But professional bird photographers don't do that. Professional bird photographers get the birds to come to them. And there's two ways to do that basically. And one way is to use tape recordings, or in this case, the recording of the birds on a CD.
Indigo bunting.
Now one thing about birds is not all birds are alike. Some birds work really good. Here, he just came back in there. Some birds work really good and some don't. And sometimes you got to go through 2 or 3 birds before you find, there he goes back behind me there. Sometimes you got to go through 2 or 3 birds before you actually find one that works really good and that comes right in. The idea is that you place the speaker near a neat background, some nice flowers or a really good log, something interesting, and the bird comes right into the speaker, and that's when you get your shot. Now the second way to get birds to come in is to put out food for them. And I've got a setup out back that I use for that. This time of year it's hard to get birds to come in at spring. There's a lot of insects out and in the grass and on the trees, and so birds aren't as hungry as they are in the winter. And what I've done here is I've set up various backgrounds and perches for them to sit on. That I went down to the local river and found some really nice driftwood that has some interesting gnarly looking patterns to it. The idea is that you put the seed down right where you want the bird to land. I've got a little bit more seed here than usual trying to get more birds in, but for example, if I want the bird to land on this part right here, I put the seed right below it and the bird will land right here, and that's where I get my picture. And I'm pre-focused on that part, so I don't have to like move real quick and try to get the bird before it takes off. They all like this black oil sunflower seed. It's highly nutritious, good source of protein, so the birds just love it, and everything loves it. The mammals that live here also love this. I've got a hummingbird feeder to bring in the hummingbirds, and it's like sugar water. And back there is a suet feeder for the woodpeckers. Most nature photographers that you see out there are going to have really big glass. If you've ever held a 400-2.8 or a 600-4, they're massive lenses, and they're so heavy that you can't imagine hiking more than 100 yards with them. And I like to be a little bit more mobile. I actually do like to go hiking and shoot animals, not at a situation like this where I brought them in. For example, when we go to national parks, we go to Rocky Mountain National Park, I like to get out and hike in the mountains. And when you're in those big national parks, a lot of animals, birds included, are fairly tame. And so you can get pretty close to things. I've kind of fallen in love with this 300 f4. It's a great lightweight lens and still gives you a lot of magnification. And I use a teleconverter on it, which increases the focal length just that much more. Now, I should probably use a tripod, but I've found that with this, with the image stabilization technology of today's lenses, that if I hold it relatively still, the images come out tack sharp. And it basically just unfurls. I got this blind at Dick's Sporting Goods. It's a hunter's blind. I got it for about 60 or 70 bucks. And it works great. The birds, you get in here, and once you set this up and the birds get used to it, they come right down and they don't really care what's going on inside the blind.
would like to have set that suet feeder up over next to the log to get that downy woodpecker that's on that landing on the log first. But feeder pictures do sell. One thing about playing tapes for birds is they can stress out the bird if you do it too much. If you play it too much, the bird spends more time at the tape than it does taking care of its own business, feeding its young and defending its territory against other birds. So it's good once you get your shot to turn the tape off and let the bird go about its business.
That's all we have time for now. Tom actually has to rush off and get some rabies shots because he's doing a book on bats. He's headed to Texas for that. And of course, true to form, now that we're out of time, the birds are plentiful right where we had the blind set up. So if we'd spent just a little bit more time, I think we'd come away with the photographs we were after today. Thanks again for watching. You'll find more information about the video on the website, prophotolife.com. So I hope to see you there.